The Real One team.
Bring your model to life at mcbproducts.net.
What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all having a great one out there. Well, it's that time again. Let's do a major product test. If you can tell from the thumbnail, it's going to be about this old FusionFirm Ultra Shiny Fluid Silver Foil. Now, not only am I going to run a test on this FusionFirm, but I'm putting it to work right away so we can see the results, and hopefully, it can fix my bumper on my 57 Chevy Nomad. That's the only thing I got left. It's the bumper. Y'all know how I feel about the Revell Chrome spray. I think it's an amazing product. The only drawback is it's not that durable. That's what happened with the rear bumper. We have the absolutely perfect comparative tonight, my front bumper, which is sprayed in the Revell Chrome spray. Now, when it came to installing this bumper, I had a lot of leverage and didn't have to touch the chrome. So that's why this chrome is still intact. But it was very difficult to get leverage with this bumper without touching that chrome. And that's what happened with the Revell Chrome spray. One of the main things I learned about the Revell Chrome spray, you cannot use cotton on it. I was using white gloves, and those white gloves stuck to the bumper. And I had the Revell Chrome spray dried for about 10 days. So that wasn't cool at all. Now, the only way this FusionFirm can trump this Revell Chrome spray to me, if it's durable. So I'm gonna run several tests tonight, brushing it on, and ultimately, I wanna see is airbrushing the best technique for spraying the FusionFirm. We're gonna find that out. Let's get started. Okay, I had to back up my Nomad. The last thing I wanna do is get some excess chrome on it. Let's see what comes in this little box. We have our silver/chrome, and we have a clear coat, a protective lacquer, it says. I don't think we're gonna be using that. I might just do it for test purposes, but we're definitely about to see what this is about. Let me get this shaken up well. Now, shook up for about a minute. I wanna get the best results and get anything out the bottom. And like I said earlier, I will be sacrificing my own parts that I plan to use on some builds. So the first one is gonna be this cool custom bumper. I've already sprayed it with flat black primer by Rust-Oleum. I want the exact same way I do my other chrome. I know you can spray it or paint it on the actual plastic, but I'm trying to get the best results. So let's see what it does with you brushing it on. Okay, I'm not sure, is this supposed to stay in the top or what, but it's come down. That's getting in the way right now. I'm gonna take that off. From the looks of things, it looks like chrome. I'm gonna go kind of heavy with it. From what I'm hearing, it really levels out. And as you can see, I accidentally went over that part one more time and it leveled out completely. I see a little spot I missed, rub it again, it levels out. Went in another direction. Looks like it's still leveling out. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I do this right so we can have the best results. So I'm gonna lay this flat, but this is amazing so far. I just brushed that on. And so far, it's crushing Revell Chrome spray. but you cannot brush Revell Chrome spray. So that wouldn't be a fair comparison. I got to put in the airbrush and really put it to the test. Insane how good this is. Absolutely insanity. What you brushing it on? I mean, it's so good, I don't even really want to airbrush it onto the bumper now for the Nomad. But a test is a test. I gave y'all my word, so I'm going to do it. But doggone, I'm ready to quit right now and just let this sit up for about 5 days. And I'm definitely going to come back out there and let it sit up. So don't worry, this is going to be done in segments. It might take me a week to complete this video, but by the time I finish it up, it'll just be a few minutes. How cool is that? All right, I'm going to lay this flat so it can have the best results of drying. And then I'm going to get set up at the airbrush booth and take y'all over there. Stay tuned. All right, we back. Very surprising results, right? You would think that airbrushing the FusionFirm on would be the best technique for using this paint. From what I found out, and what's crazy is that you have a minor mistake, it's self-leveling, but my big fat hand hit this spot right here, so ignore that. But this is the airbrush. You can see I got a little overspray here. And of course, this is the brush on. And I had to give it one more test. So I brushed this onto a hubcap. If you spray it right, yes, airbrushing will give you a more mirror finish, but it's not as forgiving as brushing it on. It seems to level better. You have more control of it. And in my personal opinion, even though when you airbrush it on, you get just a slightly more mirror finish, you still get a mirror finish with brushing it on, and you have more control of it, and it's more forgiving. So for me personally, that's my personal opinion, I prefer to use the brush. I really do. So that's my decision. Let's do it right now. Let's take care of the bumper for the Nomad. I'm gonna let it sit up for 7 days. I'm gonna treat it like Revell Chrome spray, and we're gonna come back and test the durability of it. I gotta shake it up again. It settles at the bottom. But once you get it mixed up good, you have a mirror in the bottom. Now let's finally take care of this Nomad rear bumper. You can go on heavy. Again, it self levels. And with the brush, you still have good control of it. Just taking my time, not getting in a rush. I don't want to say you can go heavy, but you can go moderate. If you do go heavy by mistake, it's okay. The chrome will forgive you. Again, I'm coming over the top. Normally with any chrome spray or paint, this will be a no-go. But the 11 properties on this stuff is so good, it doesn't matter. This is probably the closest thing to acrylic I've seen in a while. And I actually have resin for the lights in here, but that resin doesn't move. So I have putty in there covering it up. And after 7 days, I'll come in there and remove that putty. Of course, be careful with this bottle. It's tall and narrow, which makes it top heavy. If anybody do it, easy for me to knock this over. I've almost done it a couple times, so keep that in mind when you're done with it, or if you got the bottle open, get it out of hand's reach so you don't mess around and knock it down on accident. have chrome paint everywhere. You would not like that. It's still leveling, of course. I'm gonna give this about 30 minutes. Just initial flash dry and leveling, and see what we got. See y'all in 30 minutes. Okay, it's been over 30 minutes. Let it flash off. And I want to compare the spoon that I airbrush. Yeah, I cut my finger changing out the filters. Clumsy me. With the bumper for the Nomad that I brushed on. So it's surprising, but for me, I definitely think the paint should be brushed on instead of airbrushed on. Now we're gonna give it the ultimate test. Let this sit up for 7 days. I see you in 7 days, but it'll probably be more like 7 seconds. See you in a minute. All right, we are back, and it didn't take 7 days, y'all. 3 days. 3 days it took for this chrome to be completely dry, cured, durable, and you can most definitely touch it. I'm highly impressed by the performance of this FusionFirm Ultra Shiny Fluid Silver Foil. To me, they need to remove the silver foil and just call it chrome, because that's what it is. Now, I also tested some other items to show you the results and why I came to the conclusion I did that we will discuss in a minute. First, let me show you this. Y'all remember I ordered these? Okay, we're gonna get into this. I had to do a test run on these wheels and tires. Now, this kit comes with 4 tires, like we discussed before. It's got the template on here. You have your beautiful Cadillac wheels. And you have your decals for your center cap. And that little bitty attachment in there, I want to pull them out. Those are valve stems. I'm going to actually try to install valve stems for the first time when I do up these wheels for the particular build. Now what I did was, I brushed on with the brush that came in the FusionFirm the chrome. Waited 3 days, and here are the results. Oh, I put the template around the rubber and I sprayed it with flat white primer. And that's how those tires turned out. Outstanding. And here is the wheel in the FusionFirm. Do you see that reflection? Durable. Had no problem pushing this down in here. No gloves required. Doesn't rub off. Look at that. One of the most challenging parts about installing wheels that's been sprayed with the Revell Chrome spray is putting the wheel in the tire without damaging that lip. No problem on here. After 3 days, you see that chrome. Look at this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Does it look smeared? Does it look dull? Then I'm not pushing on it, of course, but whoop, 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 whoop. Nope. Not on the finger. That is highly impressive, y'all. Highly impressive. Now, center of stage. The maestro of the show. My Nomad bumper. And I brushed the chrome on. I'm about to install this sucker and bring y'all the final for the Nomad. Touching it. I ain't worried about it. Whoop, 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 whoop. No smearing. Whoop, 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 whoop. No dulling. None of it on my finger. After 3 days. So now let's go through the pros and cons, or the highs and lows of both of them, and get to the final. Which chrome paint is better than the other? Again, this is my personal opinion. Don't take it personal, because I'm still gonna use my Revell Chrome spray. I just bought this can, so it has to go to good use. Now, when it comes to airbrushing, the Revell Chrome spray wins. Simple as that. When you spray it out, it gives you a mirror reflection. You can't beat it. Looks amazing. When it comes to the FusionFirm, when it's airbrushed, we discussed this before, it's mirror image, but it's just not as reflective as the Revell Chrome spray. By just a hair. You understand? Just by a hair. But I still would spray this through the airbrush and use it. But when it comes to applications I like to do, which are wheels, I guess in this case bumpers, and being able to brush that chrome on, FusionFirm is the winner. Again, these results, they speak for themselves. It levels out. Now, for the next question some of y'all might ask, well, have you ever tried to decant the Revell Chrome spray and brush it on? Yes, I did. And that's how I ended up in a disaster with the Nomad bumper. You can decant it, but this is very expensive to decant. You understand? And you can brush it on. It will level out to a certain degree, but you can still see slight brush strokes when it does finish leveling. So for my applications, to get that mirror reflection and the durability, I have to go with the FusionFirm. For the simple fact, it's more durable than a Revell Chrome spray. It's cheaper than Revell Chrome spray. We talking 10 bucks for this right here. And as y'all can see, it's right here with all this chrome I've done. That's not bad. So there's no telling how long this $10 bottle of FusionFirm Chrome paint will last. As you know, this is, with shipping, this could be as high as 40 bucks if you just got it by itself. But we're gonna say $35. $35 for the Revell Chrome spray. If you're not heavy-handed like I am, it can last a decent little bit. My first can lasted me, I give it 6 months. First can lasted 6 months. But to really get a decent durability on this Revell Chrome spray, honestly, y'all, you need to let it sit up for a month. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but hey, if you want the results you want, you have to be patient with it. Let the Revell Chrome spray sit up for a month, and you can have some decent durability with rubber gloves on, not any type of cotton gloves. I learned that the hard way. This Revell Chrome spray does not like cotton. It's gonna react with it. It's gonna stick to the cotton. You're gonna ruin your piece. So if you let this sit up for 30 days, use rubber gloves, and be oh so gentle when you're applying your piece to the build, you'll be okay. But if you want to avoid all that, I say go to the FusionFirm and brush it on. You understand? For the common man. The FusionFirm also makes sense economically. So I don't want to cause any controversy or anything like that. If the Revell Chrome spray works best for you, I get it. As you can see, I got Revell Chrome spray myself, and I will be using this. But I only be using it for a project that is gonna be stretched out a little bit, where I can spray my pieces, let them sit for 30 days, and come back and install them. But in a case like this, where I got some bills, I'm trying to get out the shop, and definitely the Nomad, this is my go-to, the FusionFirm. Well, I hope this review helped you out to make the right decision if you're trying to figure out what's the best chrome paint for you, the Revell Chrome spray or the FusionFirm. I personally like both of them, but I definitely lean more towards the FusionFirm. It is highly impressive. And for the price and the durability, it just can't be beat. And before we get out of here, I have to acknowledge this. Thank you so much for helping me reach 4,000 subscribers. I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate all the new subscribers. There's no way in the world I could have achieved this without you. And you, thank you so much. I will be having a really special giveaway for reaching 4,000 subscribers. I should be dropping it sometime next week. I just got a couple more videos to get out. Like, I gotta get the Nomad out. It's about to come up on the Lowrider 1589 Group Build 2025 next month. So I gotta get to it, Captain. Well, thank you for checking me out. Y'all stay blessed out there and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. 3 days, y'all. God bless. Let's get to building. One team.